Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the news briefing this Wednesday, December 3rd. My name is Maite Anaya, Media Analyst for the County of Monterey, and I'm excited to introduce our first topic because it's actually happening above us right now, and that is the county's newest solar project happening here at the County Administration Building on West South Street in Salinas. And so solar projects help reduce greenhouse gas emissions and save the county millions in long-term energy costs. They also support EV charging and other sustainability efforts. And so here to share more is Cora Panturad, our County Sustainability Program Manager, and we have Shira Zingman-Daniels, Project Director with Opterra Energy Services. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Cora Panturad, Sustainability Program Manager for the county. I've mostly lost my voice today, so I'm going to let Shira do a lot of the talking on this. But we're very proud of this major investment that the county is making in solar energy sites at the Government Center on 168 West House Street, our ITD building, and also at Natividad Medical Center. We've been having a great partnership with them to get all of these projects done. And like Maite said, that this is going to be a step in the right direction for the county to lead the way on our sustainability goals and also to jumpstart the industry here in Monterey County and to demonstrate that this technology is not only feasible, but belongs in our community. So with that, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Shira.
Thanks so much, Cora. Good afternoon, just barely, everybody. Thanks so much for having us. My name is Shira Zingman-Daniels. I'm a project director with Opterra Energy Services, and I'm based out of Oakland. So with Opterra, we partner with public institutions, and we aim to build safer, healthier, and more resilient communities through effective and efficient facilities and infrastructure. We've actually been in business for more than 50 years, and we've completed over 9,000 projects and employ nearly 300 people across the country. So personally, as somebody who's been working on this project from inception to the amazing progress we've seen to this date, I'm so happy to be here today. And I want to start by recognizing the leadership of Monterey County in general, especially Cora, who's here, but in the whole county. The county has set a really ambitious sustainability vision while maintaining a strong commitment to its fiscal responsibility. And we think that today's update really represents a significant step forward to bring that vision to life. So a major highlight of this effort is the investment in solar and EV charging infrastructure. We all know Monterey County is one of the crown jewels of our state, agricultural powerhouse, whose fields, environment, and hardworking people really help sustain the communities across our country and around the whole world. So the project we're discussing today advances the county's clean transportation and renewable energy goals, but it also strengthens the long-term environmental resilience for the region. So while sustainability is a central focus here, it's equally important to emphasize the county's stewardship of public resources. This project delivers meaningful cost savings, and it represents a wise investment of public funds and supports infrastructure that will benefit residents for decades. We're really proud to partner with Monterey County as they continue to lead with environmental responsibility and fiscal accountability. So with that, I have a brief presentation. I'm going to walk you briefly through the project scope and timeline. Bear with me while I share my screen here. Hopefully everybody will be able to see this. If somebody could let me know if you can see my screen, that would be excellent.
Yeah, we see your screen.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So this project involves infrastructure improvements across 3 of the county facilities. Natividad Medical Center will get a large amount of solar canopies and ground mount across the whole campus, as well as 12 dual-port EV charging stations. The government center gets about 500 kW of solar on the canopies in a parking lot and as well on the top of the building's roof, as well as EV charging stations. And the Information Technology Department building has, again, a similar amount of solar canopies and roof mount, as well as 6 dual-port EV charging stations. We really have been trying to emphasize a community benefit and the impact of our project and working with Monterey County community. So as I mentioned, this does generate a lot of energy cost savings and offsetting carbon emissions with clean renewable power. And by having so much EV charging, it supports zero emission transportation. But we also focus on local jobs and educational opportunities. So already for this project, we've sponsored one incredible intern who came to us through Hartnell College. We've hosted student tours during construction, as you can see in the picture here, for Venture CLO students. And we participated in vendor fairs with Monterey County Business Council. And we hope that all of this really contributes to the achievement of Monterey County's service and climate action goals. Construction is underway at all sites in some form or another. We actually have undergone a substantial amount of construction at Natividad Medical Center and are really coming along at Information Technology Department as well. And re-roofing work is underway at the Government Center with the solar installation planning to start soon. Commissioning will take place throughout the summer, and the solar should be up and running right around spring to summertime. All 3 sites are currently on schedule and really, really quickly moving through all the phases, including Natividad Medical Center actually going ahead of schedule with solar construction. So with that being said, I will open it up to any questions, or if not, just thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's some really, great information, and to know that now it's happening at 3 buildings is really amazing. I know you had, mentioned the EV chargers, and I'm wondering if you can go a little bit more into what are some of the broader benefits these types of projects bring to the county and to the overall community.
Yeah, absolutely. Although Cora, I don't know if this is something that you would like to speak to, because I know that EV charging is also a passion for you.
You can go ahead. I'll fill in any details.
Sure. So with being able to provide EV charging, we provide a resource really for county staff and as well as visitors. So I know that there may be some plans as well for some fleet charging for this. They are standard EV charging that can be used for the county's fleet for visitors who may visit either Natividad Medical Center or the Government Center campuses, and for county staff. So not having to travel around to search for that sort of resource can make a really big difference to people. And it really, we think, encourages the uptake of electric vehicles and more sustainable transportation sources.
Yeah, so transportation is the county's #1 source of greenhouse gas emissions. So being able to offer more electric vehicle charging infrastructure in Salinas is something that is really going to help be able to push the electrification of vehicles, because that is a technology that we know can be electrified and has benefits of cost savings to our residents and also our county employees and our departments who are going to be using these chargers. So most of the chargers at the ITD building are going to be for fleet vehicles. That's similar with the staff parking lot at the Government Center, but there will also be publicly available chargers at the Government Center, including 4 ports of EV fast chargers. So the idea for that is that someone could come in, bring their electric vehicle, do their business at the Government Center or downtown Salinas, and fully charge their car in about an hour. So it's a really big amenity that we're hoping to bring to the community with this project.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I guess this question would be a little bit more towards Cora. If you can share how this project fits into the county's overall long-term sustainability goals.
So this project helps address the municipal climate action plan goals that are going to be coming out probably early 2026. But generally, when we think about sustainability, we want to improve energy efficiency so that we reduce our energy cost. And then the energy that we are using, we want to either supply that locally with renewable energy or buy that from clean sources. So this helps us reduce our greenhouse gas emissions in that way. It also helps just bring this technology to the community. We're using local contractors and union labor wherever we can so that we can encourage this workforce and be able to point to positive examples in this community, because overall in the Monterey County, we're going to see a greater need for building electrification, energy efficiency measures, and also renewable energy assets like solar panels and battery storage, and also EV chargers. So it's really important for us to start building out that workforce and also familiarity with this technology within our community so that we can start setting a good example at the county for the rest of the community.
Great answer. Thank you so much for that and for sharing this information. Appreciate you both being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so now on to our next topic. Our county is very fortunate to have several nonprofit foundations dedicated to supporting specific departments. And these foundations help expand programs and services beyond what taxpayer dollars alone can provide. And so today we're hearing from three of those foundations. We have Juliet Poole, who is Executive Director of the Foundation for Monterey County Free Libraries. We also have Angie Roeder, co-founder and board president of Friends of Hitchcock Road Animal Services. And we have Jennifer Williams, president and CEO of the Natividad Medical Foundation. Thank you all so much for being here. Why don't we start with Juliet to tell us more about the Foundation for Monterey County Free Libraries?
Sure. Thank you so much for that introduction and the opportunity to speak to all of you today. I am here basically to talk about the work that we're doing to strengthen the Monterey County Free Libraries. That's 17 libraries and 3 bookmobiles across Monterey County. Our mission is really straightforward, opening windows to a larger world, not just for one person, but for everyone across our county, to ensure that every resident, really no matter their age, zip code, circumstance, that they have the access to tools and resources and learning opportunities that libraries make possible. I think one thing that's important to note is that most people don't quite understand how our libraries all work together. The Monterey County Free Libraries are 17 libraries all the way from North County, all the way to throughout South County, Big Sur, and Carmel Valley. And in a county as diverse, large, both geographically large and economically diverse, I think it's really important that our libraries, especially in our rural communities, get additional support. I think that behind every great library, every library you've ever walked into and said, wow, look at that program. Wow, look at this thing that's happening. It's because there's a foundation or a Friends of group there supporting that library. And in the past year, the foundation has really invested in our literacy programs that reach thousands of families. Our primary place of support is with our summer reading programs, student support centers, and early outreach to rural communities. And these programs really create real impact, right? For real people, real families, supporting children, building reading confidence, teens accessing homework help and digital tools, and even adults learning new skills. And I really think of our libraries as a third space that creates community connection and stability here in our county. Let's see. So the way we raise funds is through grants, dollars, and sponsorships. Of course, MC Gives is going on right now, and we're going good and strong. We're really excited about how our community supports our libraries. We've created new opportunities for donors, and we are doing a wonderful spring fundraiser called Words and Wine that'll be happening this spring. So as we look forward to the new year, our focus remains strong on strengthening literacy and expanding access. And I really do believe, libraries change lives. I see it in our stories. I see it in the people that come through to check out books or just use the library as a safe space. And that's one of the most important things we're learning about our after-school programs, is that libraries are really accessed as a place for students to find a safe space after school, especially in communities where they might not have access to after-school programs or other activities that would kind of keep them, from just wandering streets. And so libraries, we find, it's not just about homework help for students. It's really about that place to just come and de-stress and relax. So I just, I want to thank all of you for the support that you give our libraries, and of course to all of our county library employees who make our libraries possible. I'll open it up to any questions that you might have about the foundation or the work that we're doing.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And it's such a great reminder why libraries are so important to everyone in the community and why everyone can benefit from the libraries. I'm going to wait until the end to see if any questions come in, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and hear from Angie with Friends of Hitchcock Road Animal Services.
Hi, everyone. I'm Angie Roeder, and I'm one of the co-founders and also the president of Friends of Hitchcock Road Animal Services. And I'm going to, let's see if I can share. Um, so kind of new to this part. Okay, so here we go. So we we are a brand new 501c3 organization. We just got the 501c3 actually in August. So we are very new, and we're dedicated to Hitchcock Road Animal Services, which is the county shelter. And basically, here's our mission statement. We support Hitchcock Road Animal Services by funding priority programs that improve the lives of, excuse me, lives of animals and pet owners in Monterey County. Working alongside HRAS, we help provide resources beyond the shelter's budget through the generosity of donors and volunteers. So basically, we've been working with them for the last 6 months or so to build up our processes, what our mission is going to be, and how we're going to do this. And it's all coming together, and it's really great. So yes, we're a dedicated fundraising arm to Hitchcock Road, and our goal is to amplify the shelter impact through focused donor engagement, grant writing, and community campaigns. Who are we? I'm Angie Roeder, and I my background is I was in the military for 11 years, Air Force. And then after that, I did some consulting with the government. And then I started my own 501c3 animal rescue, actually in Virginia, and moved out here about 4 years ago to the Prunedale area and was doing some fostering with some other rescues, and then realized Hitchcock didn't have a 501c3 tied to them. So I thought, well, let's work on that. So we did, and it's been really great. Delia Leal is our treasurer, and Sonia Shepard, our secretary, and they both have a lot of nonprofit experience as well. Key areas that we're going to work with Hitchcock to support shelter fee reduction. They found that adoptions do go up when the fee is reduced, and when it goes back to normal, the adoptions tend to go down. So we want to try to help them keep that fee low. Medical care assistance to animals, shelter animals, and their pets in need. Like if an emergency comes in at the shelter, and they're kind of funds are tight, they can reach out to us, and we can help out with that. Spay and neuter efforts also. There are a lot of community programs out there that are great, but the bottom line is there aren't enough, and so we plan to work with some of the existing efforts and help figure out ways that we can help fund them too. Let's see how we engage. We collaborate closely with Hitchcock leadership. Like I said, Cindy and Kendra and Leah, they've all been really great to help us build this organization, developing fundraising campaigns that reflect the goals of Hitchcock and what our animal welfare challenges are in our communities. Also facilitate communication and transparency to build trust and show what we're doing as a community as far as impact. We're well, like I said, here's another way of saying it again, fundraising, community outreach, and advocacy. We are 100% focused on advancing the shelter's mission. We have our first event coming up. It's this Saturday, December 6th, 4 to 6 p.m. It's actually going to be at the Hitchcock Conference Room. We're going to have, snacks and beverages. The board members will be there. We'll have a drawing for free with a lot of fun prizes. We've been going around to the community and asking for donations. And then also Cindy is going to give a shelter tour. So if you are looking at ways that we might be able to help, you can always help with fundraising events. We plan on putting them on throughout the year. Community engagement and education, we could always use help with that. Grant writing, that's going to be another good one for us. And then also just helping to spread the word about who we are and what we do through your social media, local groups, and then of course word of mouth. Here are some ways to donate. We can do Venmo or PayPal, and then you can also go to our web page for that. And then here are also some ways to contact us. And let's see. That's all that I have for that. But that's what we're doing, and we're happy to be a part of this. And thank you so much for allowing us to brief today. Really appreciate the time. Thank you.
Awesome, Angie. Thank you so much for being here and for presenting and just some really great information that you've shared. I'm going to go ahead and move to Jennifer, who is here with us from the Natividad Medical Foundation. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, I have some slides to share with you as well, but I want to say I was at Hitchcock Road Animal Services on December 23rd of last year and adopted Madeline and Adelaide were their names. They're now Blossom and Buttercup. So they're miniature pinscher Chihuahua mix and just amazing. I've adopted 4 dogs from that shelter. 2 of them lived to be 19 years old. And when they passed away, I lasted 1 month and I had to go get 2 puppies. So you guys are amazing. Hit me up because I'm the kind of person you want to donate to you. So I'm just going to spend about 5 minutes and quickly give you an overview of what we do here at Natividad Medical Foundation. First of all, who we are. We have been around since 1988. We were established by leaders from this community and the Monterey County Board of Supervisors because at the time, it was understood that in order for Natividad to be sustainable for the future, we had to create a way for donors and the community to be part of what was happening. So that's the reason that the foundation exists. We're completely separate, of course, from the hospital. What we do, our tagline is transforming healthcare into healing. So the hospital provides high quality essential care for everybody in Monterey County. The trauma center is the latest addition to doing that. And then the foundation's donors enhance that care. And I'm going to use the word enhance a few times because our role is not to provide the care, to fund basic care. It is to make it better so that we can improve outcomes for patients. Some of the enhancements that we provide are medical equipment, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. That's a primary focus area for us, is raising money to buy equipment for the hospital every year and to fund some of their capital construction projects. We have donors who are very dedicated to supporting patient and staff well-being, and I'll talk to you more about that one. The foundation operates a case management program for victims of violence through the trauma center. It's called Choice, and that program started when the trauma center opened 10 years ago and maintains a re-injury rate of only 1% compared to the national average of 44% if it's a hospital that does not have a program like ours. We also provide a lot of direct patient assistance. So you might have somebody who's ready to be discharged and go home, but they can't afford a prescription that they need, or they're unhoused and need to stay in a motel for a few days, or they need gas to go to a follow-up appointment. So we will fund things like that. Most of the money for that Patient Greatest Needs Fund actually comes from employees of Monterey County through the annual Combined Giving campaign. We also operate a diabetes prevention program, and we fund diabetes and obesity treatment and prevention at the hospital. We have an Art of Better Health Fund. If you come into Natividad, you will see color and artwork. You will hear music in the courtyard once a week, and that's all from the foundation. On the second floor of the hospital, we have an annual exhibition that rotates from the Monterey Bay Plein Air Painters Association. And for the last 3 years, we have had an employee art exhibition on the first floor to showcase the talents of the healthcare workers beyond providing the medical care. And then we also do a lot of work supporting physician training at Natividad. I mentioned medical equipment being a big focus area, and we have a group called the Agricultural Leadership Council, or TALC. They donate money every year. It's a collective of dozens of ag companies and related businesses. They've been doing this since 2010. They were founded by John Dorigo of Dorigo Brothers Company of California. And last year, they gave us $475,000. They have raised so far just over almost $6 million. So we'll break that mark this year, I'm sure. So it's great to say we buy medical equipment. It's just that's a little bit, it doesn't sound super exciting, but what's exciting is when you see what actually happens with that medical equipment. This is an example of a baby that was born here last year. She weighed 1 pound, 1 ounce. And all of the equipment that was used to take care of her was purchased by donors. So her little isolette, her warmer, all of the things she needed to grow and heal and eventually go home was purchased by our donors. This picture I love. This is her at 1 year old. She's about 18 months old now. And her and her parents are launching a toy drive this year for other babies in the high-risk infant follow-up clinic. We follow babies that were cared for in our NICU for about 3 years. And so they're doing a toy drive specific to those little babies. So developmental toys, diapers, wipes, things that people need is a new thing that's never happened before, where somebody thought about those tiny babies also need things during the holidays. I mentioned patient and staff well-being. We have a beautiful courtyard here at the hospital that was paid for by a donor, and they are also investing in ongoing programming to happen in that courtyard. One of the things they've been doing is paying for live music in that courtyard once a week during our farmers market a few months of the year. And they just gave us another grant yesterday for additional programming over the coming year, about $50,000. So we will be expanding some of these things and offering more programs. We sponsored a new thing this year called Tea for the Soul, led by the hospital chaplain. It's just an opportunity for staff to kind of reset and recharge and refresh. So it's a healing space, and a lot of donors would rather pay for things like this than buy medical equipment. So we are creating opportunities for a lot of people to be involved. I did mention physician training. The hospital has the county's only family medicine residency program, and this year they celebrated their 50th anniversary. This was not something that I planned to help with, but it came along, and it's 5 generations of doctors. And if your doctor may actually be one of the graduates of this program, they're all over the county. 1 in 3 of our graduates actually practice in this county, and a lot of them go on to serve in underserved areas. This was such a fun experience for me because it was an opportunity to work with donors across the healthcare spectrum, people that we always think of as competitors. But in this case, they have doctors from our residency program, all of these different providers. So they all sponsored the residency events and the reunion, the physician lectures that we had. So that was a wonderful experience for us to see everyone coming together to support that. Juliet mentioned some things they're doing to create new opportunities for giving. We've done the same thing this year. We created a Grateful Patient Program, which is an opportunity for patients to honor their caregiver or families to say thank you for the care that they received. And we also launched a planned giving program so that people that can leave a lasting legacy through their will or their estate plans. And then, as Juliet mentioned as well, and I hope Hitchcock Road is part of this, where a lot of us are part of Monterey County Gives. And so for us, we're focusing on the thing that everyone recognizes about Natividad, that we are the trauma center. It is their 10th anniversary. And so we're fundraising for equipment for the trauma center, emergency department, 25 units across the hospital. And so the work that we're doing to raise money in this campaign supports our ability to be here and operate the programs that we do and support all of the things that I just talked about. So that's a very quick overview, and a thank you again to Hitchcock Road for my little puppies.
Great. Thank you so much. Great presentation and a really great way for everyone to be informed about what your foundation does. So that's amazing. I would actually love if each of you took the time to answer this. Is how you identify, the most pressing needs in the community. I guess we can start with I guess whoever wants to start first.
I'll start first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, for us, I say this a lot, the foundation funds the decisions of hospital leadership. So I don't go off and create new programs myself. I wait for the hospital to look at what the patients need, community health needs assessment, and develop programs that they know will respond to patient needs, and then tell me this is something that we think needs to happen, but we need the foundation's help in order to fund that and implement it. So that's where we get our direction.
Thank you. I'll chime in there as well. Just like Jennifer, like I rely really heavily on the county librarians' knowledge of what our county needs. One of the things that's really unique about all our 17 different libraries is that each library serves a community that has a really different need. And as the foundation, we try and support all libraries as equally as possible. But when certain needs come up, we think about new innovative ways. An example is that Hillary, the library director, was working with South County and identified some extra needs that some South County libraries could use help with for after school support programs, or I should say out of school. So after school or when school's not in session. And so we worked with Community Foundation to create a one-time grant to do a pilot project in South County. But those kinds of needs are really identified through the library. I think most importantly, the librarians who meet the families face to face every single day. And I'll turn it over to Hitchcock.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from Angie.
Okay, well, so this is a little recent. The way it started was I was volunteering walking dogs with Hitchcock, and it was really great. I was having some health issues though, and trying to get there and walk at the certain times was difficult for me, but I still wanted a way to help the community and help the animals. And I was living in Prunedale at the time and asked some of my friends there to come together and have a meeting and see how we could help the community. And one person said, well, they don't have a 501c3. They could really use one. And I said, oh, wow, okay, well, let's do that. And so that's how the organization actually started. And then we aligned our mission and our goals directly with Hitchcock. We asked, Cindy, who's the administrator, has been a part of our meetings, and she's helped us to build the organization. And we went off of, they had recently done a strategic plan for the shelter. And so they had, a list of goals. And so we decided to align ourselves with their top goals. So that's how we got there.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's really important for the community to know, how you guys go about addressing the needs of the community. So that's really important. And then just something to end off on a good note, looking ahead, is there anything that you can share about what your foundation is looking forward to next year? And I guess if we can start with Juliet or Jennifer, whoever would like to jump on first.
I'll jump in. We're really looking forward to our spring event, which will happen in mid-May. Words and Wine. It was actually scheduled for the fall this year, and we got rained out. because we decided to move to an outdoor venue, and boy, the one rainy day and Sunday, and I got it. So, but that's great because I think we're moving this new event to the spring and really changing the feel, opening up the Words and Wine event to really celebrate communities and the public and making sure it's a really accessible event. So, really looking forward to that. I think I've been the executive director now with the foundation for about 2 years, and like all nonprofits, like the bumpy road from 2020 to like even 2024 or so, it was pretty bumpy. And so I'm just looking forward to a really stable, forward-looking year this year, um, going into my third year and really developing new ways to engage our donors in our community in our libraries.
So
No.
I'll share what I'm excited about is we're just ready to adopt a strategic plan here at the foundation. And it's different than what we've done in the past, where we are positioning ourselves to be a surplus generator for Natividad. So we've funded things, but not from this mindset of generating extra money for them. And to be sustainable, that's what they need. And then I think about our sustainability at Natividad Medical Foundation. So we are getting ready to start work on building some endowments and looking at some models for building sustainability in other ways with funds that we raise. So completely different perspective. We always thought of it as a luxury to build an endowment and do things like that, but because you need the money now because you got to spend it now. But I think to be successful for another 40 years, we have to start doing the work now to do that kind of long-term planning.
Thank you. Let's hear from Angie.
Just really looking forward to establishing, building relationships with people, getting to know other organizations and their capabilities, and then also just we're starting from the ground, so we're Jennifer, if you've got any ideas, would love to talk to you. Same with you, Julie.
We all should talk. We all
Yeah.
are doing the same thing.
Yes, definitely. I would love that. Maybe we could all get together for lunch or something.
Mhm.
But it is all about community and networking and how we can help each other, and I would love that.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here today and sharing this really valuable information with our community. We will be sure to share all of your information out with our media partners. So if you haven't shared your slides with me yet, please go ahead and do so, and we'll be sure to send that out. And thank you everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. Our next briefing is next week, and we'll see you then.